deal with airplane peanuts?
Dave Chappelle was attacked during his set at the Hollywood Bowl last night during the Netflix Is a Joke Comedy Festival. Welcome to the third episode of the WRLD podcast. My name is Jake. I'm your host today. Usually we have guests on the podcast, but this happened last night. It's one of the biggest things happening in comedy right now. I'd rather talk about this. I think you'd rather hear about this, and we'll save our new guest episode for next Wednesday. New episodes every Wednesday, but no further ado, let's get right into this. Let's play the footage first so we all know what we're talking about. Dave Chappelle attacked, tackled, assaulted with a deadly weapon, potentially, last night during his stand-up show. Let's see what this video is all about. This one is from TMZ. I think it gave the best view.
Behind me on the DJ table is one of the most prolific producers that hip-hop has ever presented, the mighty...
So right now he's bringing up a musician. It was the end of his set, almost an hour in after his set. He's bringing up the next musical act.
Make some noise for hip-hop history.
First of all, what a terrible, terrible tackle. I played football for many years. I played football in college. I love the game, been around it for a while. This is a shitty form tackle. How are you not going to be able to knock someone completely off their feet that's not expecting to get tackled, dude? It's not like Dave Chappelle knew someone was about to run out. He got a stiff arm, he got a juke, he got a spin move in. This dude had a perfect lined up, dude, it's like a receiver catching a screen looking this way. This dude could have blasted him like that Reggie Bush play. When he was on the Saints against the Eagles. That's one of the best hits on YouTube. Look that up. Reggie Bush gets lit up. But for real, dude, this guy couldn't... Dave gets like 3 or 4 back steps in, then falls down, then immediately gets up. We'll keep running the play. But what a shitty tackle. What a terrible form tackle from an analytical standpoint. From a football perspective, this guy sucks. He's not getting drafted. He cannot make it in the league. There's no place for this guy in comedy or the NFL. Let's keep going. Okay, so now he's running away. That security guard slipped. Dave's running around. Slow-mo. Alright, so he's on the stage. He's coming. Dave braces. Look at that. He leaves his feet. You never leave your feet. You have to keep the feet driving. Leaves both of his feet. Okay. So now they look like they're trying to corral him.
I am going to kill that.
Chappelle said he's going to kill him. Someone comes.
Wait, I gotta see this.
Now Dave is going back to beat this guy's ass himself. He's jogging back to the crowd, and there's like 20 dudes just stomping on this guy right now. What a mistake, dude. What a cut. How do you sit through the whole show and the very end just ruin your life, dude? It would be kind of cool to get beat up by Dave Chappelle, though. You know, all the people that could beat you up, Dave Chappelle would be a cool guy to look up while you're getting stomped on and be like, holy shit, it's the GOAT. Oh fuck, it's Chris Rock. Oh shit, it's Jamie Foxx. All the openers came in, everyone got a stomp on him, everyone got a lick on him. Let's keep going. Alright, so now they're just beating his ass.
Thank God.
And Chappelle's just making jokes. And they're still beating his ass.
He's back there getting stomped.
So he got stomped.
Where did that come from?
Probably still making jokes during all of this. Okay, here comes Jamie Foxx with this weird
Thank you, son.
thing around his head.
It was a trans man.
He said it was a trans man. So that makes it, not to add, I mean, I'm not rooting for this cuck that attacked, but not to add any insult to injury, literally, but it's got to suck knowing that your big moment was running onto the stage, you're going to attack Dave Chappelle, you're going to prove whatever point you're trying to make, and not only did you completely whiff on your tackle, which is embarrassing, but also then his whole crew, 20 plus people, is just beating the fuck out of you. And you have to hear that Chappelle is still going on, making even probably better jokes in his whole set about you. Like, it was complete failure, dude. Not to add insult to literal injury, but while you're in the hospital, while you're in the ambulance getting taken away looking like Tom Segura after the dunk contest with your arm, you know, behind your head, Dave Chappelle is calling you a trans man and making the audience laugh more than he ever did. Like that's got to be, not more than he ever did, but like that's got to suck that you didn't even like disrupt the show, you know? Like, that's like if on 9/11 they fucking hit one tower and everyone kept working while it was falling. It's like you didn't even affect anything. That might not be the best analogy. But, dude, okay, so let's read this article. Let's get to the very bottom of this. I want to figure out who this guy was, why he did this, what he was possibly thinking, what the repercussions are going to be, what happened to him, what's happening with Dave, everything. And it's funny that Chris Rock happened to be at this show, because I knew after the Will Smith thing happened, a lot of people were saying, did this just accidentally open the door up, you know, to every comedian getting attacked and assaulted on stage? And I don't think that's true, but look, I mean, less than 2 months later, and the GOAT is getting tackled. Also, a lot of people during that Will Smith thing were saying, I bet he wouldn't have done this to Dave Chappelle. What if this was Dave Chappelle, not Chris Rock? Chris Rock's a little smaller. But this is different because it was a random audience member, not like a movie star, you know, not a celebrity like Will Smith. So, okay, comedian, this is from page6.com. So some real like, there's like 100 ads on this website. Like, I am just fucking up my searches going on this trash, you know, TMZ kind of news website. But comedian Dave Chappelle was attacked on stage by audience member armed with a fake gun that had a real knife inside Tuesday night at Hollywood Bowl, authorities say. So he had the guy that attacked him had a fake gun with a real knife hidden inside. Was it like a bayonet, like Civil War gun with a knife on the end? But it was a fake. It was like, oh no, this is fake. Like, it's fine. They're like, sir, you can't bring guns in here. No weapons. And he's like, oh, don't worry. This is... I just can't understand why you would try to sneak in your knife in a vessel that is so much more illegal and than the knife is. Like, that's like if you were trying to like... It's like if you were trying to like bring like weed on an airplane or something, and to get past security, you like hid the bud in like a bag of cocaine, or a fake bag of cocaine, and the security guard's like, what is this? And you're like, oh, no, that's fake coke, so it's fine. And don't look... Like, you're bringing a knife inside a fake gun. That's like if you went to a bar, tried to sneak outside alcohol into a bar. I don't know if any of you have ever been so poor that you bring your own alcohol to a bar, but sometimes you got to sneak a few tall boys in your jacket. But that's like if you went into a bar trying to sneak in a bottle of Tito's, and instead of just hiding it somewhere on your body, you hid it inside a case of beer. Like neither of these things are allowed in. Why are you trying to smuggle something in that's something so much worse, dude? This might be the stupidest man in America. Let's keep reading. The comic, Dave Chappelle, 48, was performing at Netflix's A Joke Festival when the mayhem unfolded around 10:45 p.m. towards the end of the stand-up show, according to witnesses. Okay, so yeah, it was towards the end of the show. He was bringing up the next musical act. It's just so strange because obviously this wasn't planned. Like, a lot of people, and we'll get to this, I posted in the community section, so we're going to read some comments from you guys about what you think of this. But a lot of people were saying that, like, you know, if you can't handle the jokes, don't go to a comedy show. But this seems so, like, pre-planned, like, premeditated. Because he obviously he had the genius idea to sneak in the knife and the fake gun. You know, we're dealing with a real Einstein here. But this is like, why, I just don't get, if you hated Dave Chappelle so much that you were going to premeditate an attack on him with a deadly weapon, why you would sit through an hour of his show, dude. Maybe that just you know, shows the greatness of Dave Chappelle, that even the people that hate him, you know, if they pay for that ticket, they're going to at least see the show first before they try to fucking kill him. Shocking video shows Chappelle standing on stage as an audience member identified by authorities as Isaiah Lee, 23 years old. Wow. Charges and slams him to the floor. I don't think he really slammed him to the floor. Like I said, that if Dave Chappelle had a football on him, they would need to gang tackle him, dude. Dave is a tank. Seconds later, the attacker was tackled by security. Oh, also, can we get maybe some security on the front of these stages? Like, they did a better job than the Oscars, you know. At least this guy didn't get to go back to his seat and then sit there, then get brought on stage later. At least Isaiah Lee didn't get an award 20 minutes after he tackled Dave Chappelle. But where is the security, like, in the front of the stage? Like, maybe we could try to stop the attacker before they reach the comedian. That's an insane idea, but I feel like they would feel more protected if the threats were neutralized before physical contact. There's been a lot of I don't know if you're watching the NBA playoffs, but there's at the Timberwolves games there's these crazy bitches that keep like running on the floor. They try to glue herself on the floor and tie herself to the hoop. Or I don't really know what that's all about, or why people are protesting the Timberwolves. They're a terrible organization as it is. It's enough punishment to be the Timberwolves. But like those NBA security guards in Minnesota, there's videos of them like tackling these. There was one where this lady started running over the bleachers, and she's already on the floor, getting pinned down within 2 steps onto the court.
Towns underneath. What's going on here? Oh wow! Somebody's run onto the floor. Beverly goes into the front row on the other line with these people.
Why is there no security on the front? Let's keep reading. Lee, who lives in Los Angeles, was arrested for felony assault with a deadly weapon. That's so bad, dude. Imagine just a tackle, just a tackle, but because of your genius idea to sneak the gun in with the knife and the fake gun and the blade, now it's assault with a deadly weapon. LAPD spokesperson said the suspect was carrying a replica handgun with a blade inside. Fucking idiot. Lee was taken to the hospital before he was booked early Wednesday into jail on a $30,000 bail, authorities say. It's unclear what provoked the attack. You couldn't ask him? 23-year-old attacking Dave Chappelle. If I had to guess, I would say it's some extremely misguided, woke young kid who thinks he's saving the world because Dave Chappelle is funny, and you know those people can't really handle humor that well. And I just, why would you do that? Why would you do that? That has to be the only reason, right? Like Chappelle joked and said that was a trans man, which is hilarious, obviously, because he's in all the hot water with that community. Following the incident, Chappelle appeared to carry on with the show. In a video shared with social media, Chappelle joked about the attacker. It was a trans man. He later told the audience, "I don't know if that was part of the show. I grabbed the back of that dude's head. His hair was spongy, absorbent." The attacker was later taken to a hospital after sustaining injuries. And these injuries were significant. I already called him Tom Segura after the dunk contest, but that's literally what it looked like, dude. His elbow was facing the opposite way. We'll put an image in right now, but it was grotesque. It was not a good scene. Dude, that is hilarious. Instant karma. I don't know if you could think of a better situation that could represent instant karma. Like you rush Dave Chappelle, you miss the tackle, you get charged with assault with a deadly weapon, even though you didn't use it, and then 3-4 legendary comedians plus 15 security guards all literally beat the shit out of you in front of the audience, while then Chappelle is still going on making jokes about you and how much of a failure you are at being a piece of shit. Dude, this guy was trying to be a piece of shit and failed at that. Okay. So, in one Twitter video, the suspect is seen lying on a stretcher with his elbow facing the other way. A man charged and tackled Chappelle just as the show was ending, according to a tweet from Brianna Sachs, a BuzzFeed journalist who was there. Brianna Sachs. Nice. She said security rushed and started punching and kicking the shit out of Chappelle's attacker. Alright, let's watch this video of him getting taken off. This tweet is from Sachs. It's from B. Sachs. And it says, just came out of the Hollywood Bowl where a man charged and tackled Dave Chappelle on stage and got his ass kicked by at least 10 people. LAPD and LAFD are now loading him into an ambulance.
Hey, back up, back up!
Boo! I love how they're booing.
Hey, get back! Everyone get back!
Boo! He's getting into the ambulance. Boo! Boo! That's the best you can come up with. Hey, you. Boo. Dude. That's got to feel weird for the paramedics, because I would imagine they're usually pretty sympathetic to the people that they're picking up, but this guy was just being a jackass and then got the instant karma. How often do you think that while they're taking... Oh no, my screen went out. If you've been following this channel, you know that I have real screen issues with this one. I'm going to put it back after I make this point. How many times do you think these people have been loading someone in an ambulance to the sound of boos from a crowd? Like, you're saving their life and everyone's like, fuck that guy, boo. I wonder if they were booing the paramedics or helping them. Maybe they weren't even booing the guy. Alright, time to fix the screen. In another video, Chappelle thanked Jamie Foxx for rushing to help him, saying, listen, I just want to say I've had an incredible time. What a professional. I've been doing this for 35 years. I just stomped a dude backstage. Always wanted to do that. Dude, Dave Chappelle is badass. Chris Rock handled the Oscars like a professional. Sorry. That's about as calm, and professional. It's the Florida Man beer. 8.5%. Not to brag. It's a double IPA. Chris Rock was as professional, I think, as you could get at the Oscars for a comedian being assaulted on stage. Kept the show going. Obviously, that's a way different situation. Your audience is a bunch of Hollywood elite that don't have your back. A lot of people, I know on Flagrant 2, Andrew Schultz, a lot of people were not calling Chris Rock out, but maybe being like, dude, how do you not, stand up for yourself a little bit, or at least, I don't know. A lot of people were saying that Chris Rock, I'm not calling him a pussy, but he didn't handle it in an aggressive manner because he was worried about his career. He's in this big Hollywood production, and it was great for him because he only benefited from being slapped. He didn't retaliate, and that was the move for where he's at. But this is a stand-up festival. This was at the Netflix is a Joke Festival, which was in this last week and still going on in Los Angeles. A ton of huge names performing there, by the way, obviously, Dave Chappelle. And so this is an audience full of stand-up fans and Isaiah Lee, 23 years old, with the fake gun, and B-Sack from wherever she's from. Where's she from? What news entity? BuzzFeed. I feel like a lot of BuzzFeed journalists aren't the biggest supporters of comedy. But anyway, I like how Chappelle handled it so much more than I like how Chris Rock handled it. And I know that those are different situations, but it's so much more satisfying to me, and so much like it's sending such a different message to people that might be stupid enough, so like literally bricks for brains enough to like try this at a different show. This sets such a precedent, snapping this dude's arm in half and having the comedian that he attacked stomp his ass out, plus all of his crew and all the security, and then him to like make fun of this dude and joke about it. And I know that it's a different situation, but I just, for comedy's sake, for being a fan of Chappelle, and for the safety of comedians moving forward, like, I just love how this was handled so much more too, because it didn't even ruin the show. Also, like, he made some jokes about the thing happening. He's completely fine. This dude is fucked. He didn't get to accept an award after. He's going to go to jail for assault with a deadly weapon. Like, and he has his arm is just like literally almost dangling off, holding on by a thread. So I'm just so happy that they almost killed this guy. It would have been great maybe for a 1 or 2 day coma. That would have really sent the message, and that would have almost ensured, this doesn't happen in any comics moving forward. So I guess my only thing to say to Dave Chappelle is, like, maybe go a little harder for the 1 or 2 day coma. I don't want this guy to get killed. However, he did charge you with a fake gun, and I know that can be very... Dude, what are you even going to... what are you even going to do with a fake gun? Like, on a state... Like, I guess if you were, like, in the street and you had a fake gun, you're like, give me your money, and they think it's real, then they do it. But if you're on a stage, and it's fake, so you can't actually kill him, so you're holding up the comedian, Dave Chappelle, like, hey, tell a pro-trans joke. Like, what is... I don't know. He didn't even use it, so I guess that makes sense. But I just don't get what your plan was with a fake gun, because if you can't actually kill him, if it doesn't shoot anything, then you're just going to hold it point it at him on a stage, knowing that it doesn't work, and then just intimidate him into doing what exactly? Hey, Venmo me $1 million on this. Like, where are you gonna go? I just don't get what his plan was. I don't get what his intent was. Maybe we're gonna learn more. This literally happened last night, and I'm filming this today, pretty much as soon as I could. So I guess we don't know all the info. I just don't get. Literally, the whole point of the fake gun, I guess, for this dude was to bring in the knife inside of it was literally just like a smuggling container, which is so fucking funny, dude. It's so funny. I need to think of some more analogies. I think the weed in the airport one was pretty good, if I do say so myself, but it's just so funny to sneak in an illegal item in an even more illegal item. It's like a pregnant Mexican woman coming to the United States. You're sneaking one in. That was a good joke too. I just thought of that, dude. That was pretty good. All right, if you liked that joke, you have to give this video a like. Oh, also, just so we know, like there's going to be guests after this episode. I just really wanted to dive into this situation because it's brand new and it's developing, and long-term Joke World. One of my goals or visions for this brand would be to give comedy like a news source or a media entity, kind of like how sports has Bleacher Report and ESPN and stuff where you can follow every sport at once and all your favorite athletes at once and get news about what's going on with everything all at once. I would love Joke World to be able to turn into that for comedy. So like, something like Chris Rock happens and it's every comedian's reaction, or the Johnny Depp thing, or this thing, or, just the compilations of best moments between guys, or Try Not to Laughs of all these different podcast clips throughout the years. I think Joke World's one of my main visions for this moving forward would be to be like this media entity in the world of comedy. Kind of like Barstool Sports, kind of like Bleacher Report, ESPN is to sports, just kind of like, something that the people get to control. It's from an outsider coming in, and the people get to control it. It's fan interactive, and it is something that you can stay up to date with everything that's happening all at once. For people like us that just truly, love the shit, just love stand-up and comedians podcasts, and just laughing and finding humor and touchier subjects or dark topics, edgy jokes and free speech and these type of things. These comedians that we cover on our page in our videos, they all have a similar sense of humor. They're all in that same category of, just uninformed, stupid people on Instagram probably think that they're bigots. Like if you went up to some random, like college age girl and started talking about the Joe Rogan experience, I feel like just because of bots on Twitter and social media brainwashing, they'd be like, oh, only Joe Rogan, that's for like white racists, right? Like and we know it's not, but like how the outside opinion is of a lot of our favorite comedians is because they're funny and say funny shit, and they don't bend to the sword of society, and they don't just start blowing woke people that they're for some reason dangerous or something. Those are my kind of comedians. Those are your kind of comedians if you're watching this. I don't really even know where I got going with this, but let's get back to the matter at hand. Defending Dave Chappelle's honor. Okay. Audience member Jed Simmons described the evening as perfect before the attack happened, but noted venue security was non-existent. Okay. So, why? Why? You have maybe the most controversial comedian currently in the world in Dave Chappelle, especially after that last special, which I thought was outstanding. And you're going to be like, non-existent security. I'm sure no one's going to rush the stage or anything. In fact, we checked everyone at the front, and no one even has any deadly weapons with them. One guy has this fake gun, but it's just a replica, and there's probably nothing inside. Seemed like Dave's entourage, security, and crew dealt with the situation, he told the Post. Chappelle came out and did an amazing set for about an hour. He was just about to bring out a musical act when some random guy in the front of us in the audience climbed the stage and tackled Dave. It was surreal. It was also real. Elon Musk walked by right before it went down. That's super random. My fucking screen, dude. How long has it been blue? Someone tell me. I hate the screen. I'm going to finish this paragraph. It was also real. And by the way, someone was like, you got to turn off the sleep setting on your laptop, and then it'll stay on the screen that you want. And I did that. I don't know why it just keeps switching over to this blue thing. And if you're only listening to the podcast right now, go check it out on YouTube. If you don't know what I'm talking about with the screen and stuff, if you're only listening, check it out. Check us out on YouTube. Every video or every episode will have a full video on there. Subscribe. We have a lot of great videos besides this podcast on there. Like I just kind of touched on about other videos, compilations, Try Not to Laughs, keeping you up to date in the comedy world. But there's a screen behind me with the podcast logo and just some other, graphics, and it like keeps changing to like my home blue screen every like 10 minutes. So that's what's going on if you're just listening and you're like, I don't get what he's saying about the screen. Like, what does he mean about the screen? Just go on YouTube and you'll figure it out. Okay. So I guess Elon Musk was there, and that's where we stopped. Elon Musk walked by right before it went down, then Jamie Foxx ran up there. The crowd was just shocked. When Dave came back to the mic, he kept saying, get that guy off stage, because the attacker was still on stage being held down by 20 people. That was such a pussy burp, dude. I thought that was going to be an outrageous, just clanging burp, and it would have been such a good moment for all of us to listen to. And instead, it was the bitchest burp of all time. Dave handled the whole thing like a pro, just another reason why he's the GOAT. One audience member told the Post the crowd thought it was part of the show. I don't know what it's actually, he made the trans joke and talked about always wanting to stomp someone, that it might have seemed part of the show because his material afterwards is so well written, but I don't know what comedy show includes at the very end someone comes up and tries to assault the best comedian of all time with a deadly weapon. I'm just going to say that was a stupid thing to assume that it could be part of the show. I never assumed it was part of the show. Well, I wasn't there. British comedian Jimmy Carr rushed to Twitter after the show ended to share a selfie with Chappelle. The comic described the stand-up show as crazy after witnessing the attack. The Hollywood Bowl show with the legendary Dave Chappelle was crazy, just happy everyone's okay, he wrote alongside this image. Another audience member told the Post he was shocked and angered towards the attacker. It was just a dumb person trying to do something stupid, he told the Post. He somehow got by the initial security, but we've learned since then that the security was non-existent. The comic found himself in hot water last year over his jokes about the trans community, blah, blah, blah. All right, let's watch one more video. This one was taken by someone that was there. It's, if you're just listening, again, definitely go check this out. But it is a faraway shot, someone recorded on their phone, 30 seconds.
Thank you, son. It was a trans man. I'm back there squeezing that nigga too, niggas. I seen Bust around there and it's like, that's how you do it, dog.
So, yeah. Dave Chappelle attacked on stage. I'm sure we're going to make some sort of compilation of every comedian reacts to Dave Chappelle being tackled once everyone else's podcasts come out. But I don't know, man. After the Chris Rock thing happened, I would just kind of, daydream if I was on stage what I would do in this situation. And it seems obvious to me what my move would be. Now, I'm not a fighter at all. Anyone could beat me up in the world. If you see me at any time in your life, you could beat me up if you wanted. However, if I am on stage, I have a 6 to 10 pound metal microphone with a bulb on top of it shape that if I see, and I see you coming and I'm elevated. So here's what I thought after the Chris Rock thing, and here is what I'm going to do if I'm ever at some open mic and someone, which would never happen, but I think the best move would just like bop, hold the end of the mic. So the microphone part's up here. You got the end bass, right? Right, just like this. The guy's coming towards you. You wait there with the mic in your hand until he's about a yard away. And then just with the heavy metal part of it, bop! Right in the forehead. Bop! Just like that. It'd make a funny sound because it's mic'd up. It'd make a... Dude, and it wouldn't be a clap, but it would make a hilarious sound just hitting this guy in the forehead. And it would hurt so bad. I would swing it so hard right in the middle of your forehead. There's a huge welt, dude. Huge, like a third eye. Your third eye is coming out like a fucking mountain. That's the move, dude. If you're a comedian, someone's rushing your stage, bop them with the mic, dude. It makes a hilarious sound. They're gonna probably fall back. This would be the best if they got bopped. Whoa, stunned. I'm stunned. Ow, ow. And then fell backwards off the stage onto their back. And then after that, someone shot them 10 times. That would be realistic. But yeah, Dave Chappelle assaulted on stage, tackled. But he had some yards after contact. His yards after catch. His yards after contact is elite. If the draft just happened and they're kind of picking up free agents right now, by the way, I'm available, but so is Dave Chappelle. Broke it like a champ, took it like a champ. And just like I feel like we knew Chappelle would, if you told me Dave Chappelle was tackled on stage, what would he do after? My best guess would be make a few hilarious jokes in the moment about what just happened. And that's what he did. So I'm excited to learn more maybe about, what's his name? Isaiah Lee's intentions, 23-year-old Isaiah Lee. I would love to get Isaiah on the podcast just to figure out what this fake gun with a knife inside strategy was. I'd love to know some of his other logical thoughts on life because I'm sure they're hilarious, I'm sure he does a lot of things kind of backwards. If you thought the best way to sneak a knife into a show was through a gun, then I'm sure you have a lot of other great life hacks that I would just find hilarious. I'm kind of pissed off, dude, because I didn't have enough time to figure out the funniest part about trying to sneak a weapon inside a more illegal weapon. But like there are some great jokes to be written about this. So if you want to steal this premise, go for it. I think maybe my illegal immigrant joke was maybe my best try. I don't know. I'm going off the top of my head, dude. This just happened last night. What do you want from me, man? There's my leg again. Also, I'm sorry for wearing shorts in the first episode when the camera had my whole leg in it. Actually, me and Matthew Broussard were both in shorts, and it is a lot of leg. Someone commented that's a lot of leg, and I agree. You don't want to see that much male leg, It'd be one thing if two girls were on a podcast and they were both wearing shorts, but me and Matthew should have had pants on. I agree with that. You can't have if your legs have more than 4 or 5 hairs on them, you can't go on a podcast in shorts. And I did it again just now, but I also thought that I would keep it from the waist up. And for the 5th time, if you're just watching this or if you're just listening to this on your phone, check out the YouTube video and you'll know what I'm talking about with the legs. Or don't, if you don't like male legs, which I'm sure most of you don't, then don't check out the video, but also still do, obviously, because I need you to check out the video. So that's the main thing that I want to talk about today, is just get to the bottom of this Chappelle thing with you. I also posted this on the community section. This was the first thing I saw when I woke up this morning, was that all this shit happened, and then I immediately went to our community section, where that's one of my favorite parts about this channel, and I think that's one of the things that this channel does differently than others is, you know, at least once a day, but more often, more than that, is just posting stuff in our community section for people to interact with. Like, you know, everyone wants to sound off on, because we all love this dude. If you're listening in past 30 minutes of the Joke World podcast, then it's confirmed that you love this art, dude. You love comedy, and you love laughing, and you love, you know, this. It feels like we're almost the last frontier of people that can speak their mind and make people laugh and say things just for joke's sake. You know, so many people want to rip people apart for jokes and for their senses of humor, and you know, there's times where people want to even make you feel bad about liking comedians that they don't agree with their viewpoints, even though viewpoints is in quotation marks, because most jokes that comedians are telling are just for the laugh effect or the drama effect. Like, these fucking idiots don't even understand that these aren't real viewpoints, and I know we all get that. I'm literally preaching to the choir right now, because if you're listening to this right now, then I know that you get it. But I don't know, dude. It's just nice to cultivate this safe community of people with the same senses of humor and same, you know, core, not beliefs. It's not a fucking cult, but it's like, you get what I'm saying. And the community page is really fun. You get to vote on stuff. You get to watch new videos. You get to vote on stupid things. Like, I put a poll up, who's going to win the NBA Finals. You also get to vote on fun things like, who would your dream, you know, tour lineup be? Name 3 comedians to open, middle, and headline. Like, it's just a cool section, that community page. And I'm sure most of you have seen it. But I posted Dave Chappelle tackled on stage last night, question mark, exclamation, yada, yada, yada. That was 3 hours ago when I posted it. So there's only 26 comments so far. I'm sure there will be a lot more by the time you see this later today and in the weeks to come. And a lot more is going to come out about this Chappelle. This is just the first, by the way, if you're tired of hearing about this already, like, tough luck, because this is the first day that this is news. Like, it became news late last night. This is the first full day that this is news, and it's going to dominate our social media lives. People that are into stand-up, it's going to dominate for a while, just probably exactly like the Chris Rock thing, which actually wasn't that long. I feel like, what was that, like 2 weeks of mayhem? Which is long for a story in the United States, actually. I mean, around here, we pay attention for something for a few hours, no matter how serious it is. It could be the most serious thing in the world. You get maybe 2 hours of attention before we're on to the next story. So that Chris Rock thing did stay in the news for a while, and I feel like this will be maybe a little less, but similar for us. But anyway, post it in the community section, and I just want to read a few of your comments. Because you guys are the people listening to this show and supporting this channel. So it's important that your voice is heard, because this is the vibe of our whole community. I just feel like Joke World is just one entity. You know, it's all 85,000 of us, and what you guys have to say about this is equally, if not more important than what I have to say about this. I'm just one person. You guys are the comedy masses. If you want to, you know, put your finger on the pulse of comedy, of what people are feeling, of who people are feeling, then I think the Joke World subscribers section, I think the people that fuck with us, this is a great source of how people feel about issues in comedy, or how people are reacting to a situation like this. So I think it's more important than what I have to say is what you guys have to say. And there's only 26 comments. Let me refresh. Maybe we got one more. Nope, there's only 26 comments so far. But this is when we're recording. So these are the ones we're reading. All right. The first comment, 18 likes. It's our number one comment. It's got 4 replies. Yurkic said, dude tackled him on stage and Dave's security team. Jamie Foxx, Chris Rock, and Dave himself beat the dog shit out of the dude. The tackle was horrible, but the beatdown was magnificent. I'm not honestly that happy that the guy got the shit kicked out of him, but it needs to happen if he thought he was going to rush the stage, tackling Dave fucking Chappelle and walking away like nothing happened. First of all, I'm so sorry for struggling through that sentence. Maybe it's the Florida man. Maybe this was worded a weird way. Maybe it's a little bit of both. But, yeah. One of my favorite parts about this... dude, I didn't even say this yet. I don't think that there's video of this, but apparently, there's been multiple reports that after this all happened, Chris Rock, who opened the show... Dude, what are the odds that Chris Rock was opening this show? But he was an opener. He was on the lineup. The show was called Dave Chappelle and Friends. So in these comedy festivals, I just got back from the Moon Tower Comedy Festival. That's where we interviewed Hans Kim at. In Austin, got to see a ton of great live performances, made some good connections there. And it was honestly one of the coolest things in the world, dude. Like, Thursday through Sunday, starting at 4 o'clock and then going till 2 or 3 in the morning, I had this pass and I could just go around and just watch stand-up for hours and hours and hours and hours. Like 8 hours of stand-up a night, 4 nights in a row. You know, just legends up there, dude. It was awesome. But that was the Moon Tower Comedy Festival in Austin this last week. Was the Netflix is a Joke Festival in California. Another one I wanted to go to, but I just got back from Austin. And I was like, what? Am I going to just keep, a festival whore? No, not me, not Jake. So, I keep forgetting what I was saying. The way that these festivals are formatted is, it's just like you get this map and then there's a bunch of different shows happening at the same time all around the city and they're all named different things. So I went to a few, stand up on the spots with Jeremiah, the goddamn Comedy Jam, which if my grandma's listening to this, I didn't say the goddamn Comedy Jam. I didn't add that part. That's the name of it. I'm just saying the name of it. And that was my favorite thing in the world, dude. Josh Adam Myers. If you've never heard of this, look up Josh Adam Myers on Instagram right now and look up the goddamn Comedy Jam. It is the best thing in the world, dude. My friends, my girlfriend, everyone's begging me to stop talking about it since I've got back from Austin, but I literally can't, dude. I literally can't. It's amazing. It's our favorite comedians just jamming out to, like, it's almost like karaoke with a real, like, live band behind them and everyone's standing up, but it's like comedians like Big J Okerson, like, just shredding and singing these just amazing songs, and comedians are crowd surfing, and it's just look it up on Instagram right now, the goddamn Comedy Jam. I can't speak highly enough about it. I tried to get an interview with Josh Adam Myers, the guy that runs this, while I was in Austin, after I went to this show 3 times. Unfortunately, he had to leave like the morning that I hit him up at like 2 in the morning after one of the shows, and he was like, I would, but we have to leave like at 6 a.m. So there was no even studio time, but one day I will get him on and it will be splendid. And my camera is about to die if there's a weird pause, but anyway, the way that these things are set up, these festivals, is you can just go around and see all these different shows. So this show was called Dave Chappelle and Friends. And some of the friends were Jamie Foxx and some of the friends were Chris Rock. And apparently after this altercation happened, Chris Rock came back on stage, Chris Rock came on stage, gave Dave Chappelle a hug, and then said into the mic, "Was that Will Smith?" Amazing job by Chris Rock. It's almost a layup of a joke. I feel like it's very obvious, but the fact that he said it, it almost kind of makes up for not doing anything while it actually happened to him at the Oscars. Okay, we're back with a fresh camera battery. Sorry about those technical difficulties. Back to your comments in the comment section based off of the Dave Chappelle getting tackled on stage last night. This guy said, yeah, dude broke his hand or arm. Dave was fine. And someone responded and said his entire arm was bent backwards and shoulder out of place. He got fucked up. Correction, both hands broken and arm dislocated. So that is great to hear, dude. I mean, I've never been happier about just someone being completely, dismembered in front of a live audience. This is some real, like, Roman time stuff, just, like, tearing this guy apart like Chewbacca in front of 3,000 people. I wish I could have been there, man. I wish I could have been one of the people that got a stomp in, a kick, swift kick to the side would have felt really good. Man. I'm just jealous of the people that got to hurt this guy. Damn. Thank God for Jamie Foxx. We almost lost a good one. There's a lot of stuff on the stage that you could use. You got the stool. That's 4-pointed. You could do something with that. You maybe have a drink that you could throw in the face. We need to start maybe getting a little more crafty on the comedian side with our self-defense tactics. I'm still, waiting for someone to rush one of Rogan's stages. I would love to see some sort of crazy-ass black belt armbar or, choke out. And I think that would be really fun. Maybe a kick to the head. That could be cool. So please try to rush Joe Rogan's stage. Just for our own entertainment, it would actually do great numbers on the channel. So if you are a local idiot in any of the places that Joe Rogan is going to perform, this is a bad idea. I shouldn't be on camera telling people to go attack Joe. That's not what I mean. I'm just saying it would be great content after the fact. Not for you. You would be fucked. But for me and for everyone else to enjoy. You comedy fans, you got nothing else to do this week. So this is coming out on Wednesday. This weekend coming up, if you're looking to get in some good stand-up, Joe List just dropped his special on YouTube. It's excellent. Joe List, you've seen him all around YouTube, obviously, comedian for a long time, co-host of Tuesdays with Stories. I don't have to tell you who Joe List is, but the special is fantastic. Chris Stefano, the Special Weshi on Netflix, that is also out now. Another fantastic one for you to watch. So that's a few hours of comedy for you guys this weekend. If you're into either of those two guys, if you've never heard of them, which I doubt, I would go give them a chance. Christina P. is coming out with her special on Netflix very soon as well. I forget the date. I think it is around May, early May. So be on the lookout for that. Be on the lookout for new Joke World videos. We're posting about 3 a week at this point. So make sure you look out for that. We're going to put together a Every Comedian's React to Elon Musk buying Twitter video soon. We're going to probably put together a Every Comedian Reacts to this Dave Chappelle situation soon, and then just a lot of other good stuff coming up the pipe. Perhaps a New York comedian compilation, maybe a New York versus LA compilation. A lot of good stuff coming up. Don't want to show my full hand here or spoil all these new videos, but a lot of promising things coming up. Thank you for listening to the Joke World podcast. This is really fun for me to do, to get to, communicate and talk with you guys and see what you guys are feeling about, the comedy world, and to be, really the only podcast that's talking about comedy. All these other podcasts that we love are by comedians with comedians on them. And they're very successful, high-level comedians, and I think that for, the real comedy nerds of the world that just love, some ins and outs, this podcast is about comedy. It might not be a comedy podcast where you're supposed to laugh the whole time and there's bits and there's segments and there's, all right, now we're reading, now we're getting call-ins and, unhelpful advice or whatever. It's not really going to be a bitty show or like a segmented show, but it's a show about comedy, and it's a show about stand-up, and it's a show about the comedians that we love, and to stay up to date with them and see what's going on with them. So really appreciate you guys making this into a viable product. I think it's something that's missing in the space, in my opinion. There isn't something like this for us people that like to, you know, in these interviews that I've done so far, whether it's with Hans Kim or with Matthew Broussard, or the interviews that are to come that are still being released, there's a lot of ins and outs and a lot of inside baseball, if you will, a lot of technicalities about stand-up and how you write a set and how you maneuver an audience and how you think on the fly and do these kind of things and go on different shows and what your writing process is like. And these are things that, you know, you're not going to hear on This Past Weekend or the Joe Rogan Experience or, you know, Matt and Shane's Secret Podcast or whatever you want to say it is. Like this podcast is kind of a look behind the curtain, if you will, to the real technicalities of what comedy is or what professional comedy is. So I appreciate you guys, like, you know, making this a thing, because I can sit here and ramble on until I'm blue in the face, but unless you guys are liking these videos and still subscribing and listening and downloading them on Spotify and Apple or wherever you listen, it's not a thing. It's only a thing with you guys. So just want to say thank you again. Thank you for sitting through a solo episode. Shout out to Dave Chappelle. Shout out to not shout out to the fucking security at Netflix is a Joke Comedy Festival. Netflix, you are one of the richest organizations around, probably not in the world, but around. You can hire some better security. Dave Chappelle seems like he could hire some more security too, but then he wouldn't have got to get his fair stomp in the game. So nothing more to say about this. Thank you for listening. Please subscribe. Follow us on Instagram if you want some free Joke World stickers, and I will see you next Wednesday.